Welcome to the 10 Minutes Gold Mine, where every book gives you a treasure of knowledge in just 10 minutes. 50 Shades of Grey, by E. L. James, A Romantic Journey. Introduction. 50 Shades of Grey, by E. L. James is a globally recognized romance novel that combines emotional complexity, personal growth, and intense attraction. It explores the relationship between Anastasia Steele, a young and introverted college graduate, and Christian Grey, a successful, wealthy businessman with a mysterious past. Their journey together challenges conventional romantic norms, as they navigate issues of control, trust, and emotional vulnerability. The story dives deep into how two people with vastly different backgrounds and desires try to form a meaningful connection despite their differences. Part 1. The First Encounter. The story begins when Anastasia Steele, a 21-year-old university student, is asked to fill in for her ill roommate Kate and interview Christian Grey for the college newspaper. Anastasia is immediately struck by Grey's good looks, wealth, and strong presence. Although she feels out of place in his world, she proceeds with the interview, during which Christian's charm, intelligence, and intensity draw her in. Despite their contrasting personalities, a spark of attraction ignites between them, though Anastasia is too focused on her responsibilities to dwell on it much. After the interview, Christian seems intrigued by Anastasia's quiet confidence and innocence, while Anastasia begins to feel conflicted about her budding attraction to someone who seems so far out of her reach. In the following days, Anastasia's life takes an unexpected turn when Christian reaches out to her, inviting her to meet again. Over time, they begin spending more time together. Christian offers to take her out for dinner, buys her expensive gifts, and constantly expresses his interest in her. However, despite their growing connection, Christian remains enigmatic, with his mysterious side causing Anastasia to wonder about the man behind the wealth and success. Part 2. The Proposal. As their connection deepens, Christian eventually reveals the true nature of his desires. He shares that he has very specific needs in his relationships, and introduces Anastasia to the idea of a BDSM, bondage, dominance, submission, sadism, and masochism relationship. He offers her a contract that would outline the terms of their relationship, where he would be the dominant partner and she, the submissive one. Anastasia is shocked by the proposal and struggles to comprehend the kind of relationship Christian wants. The contract and Christian's unorthodox desires cause Anastasia to feel conflicted. On one hand, she is deeply attracted to him, but on the other, she's unsure about participating in something so different from her expectations of a loving, traditional relationship. She is drawn to Christian emotionally but struggles with the idea of submitting to his control. Christian, too, is clear about his own emotional limitations. His past trauma has led him to develop the need for control in his relationships, making him reluctant to form connections that go beyond his set boundaries. Despite her hesitation, Anastasia begins to consider the possibility of embracing Christian's proposal. She wants to experience the connection with him, yet she is unsure whether she can sacrifice her own needs for the sake of his. Part 3. The Emotional Struggles. Anastasia's inner turmoil intensifies as she tries to navigate her growing feelings for Christian while also questioning whether she can truly be comfortable with the relationship dynamic he's proposing. Their connection becomes increasingly passionate, but it also comes with emotional turmoil. Christian insists on controlling every aspect of their relationship, which leaves Anastasia feeling restricted and unable to fully express herself. As the relationship grows more complicated, Anastasia begins to question whether she can continue to submit to Christian's demands. She desires more than just physical intimacy. She wants emotional connection, trust, and equality in a relationship. She wants to feel respected for who she is and not just for her role in his carefully constructed world. At the same time, Christian's possessiveness and controlling nature make her question whether she can ever achieve the balance she desires. The emotional struggle is amplified by Christian's own unresolved issues. He opens up to Anastasia about his troubled childhood, explaining how his past experiences shaped his need for control in relationships. Christian's vulnerability is one of the few moments where he shows his true self, but it only adds to the pressure Anastasia feels as she grapples with her growing love for him and her own desire for independence. Part 4. The growing tension. The tension between Anastasia and Christian continues to build as their relationship becomes increasingly intense. Anastasia is torn between her feelings for him and her desire for a healthy, equal partnership. Christian, for all his wealth and charm, struggles to open up emotionally, and his possessiveness begins to alienate Anastasia. She finds herself questioning whether she can accept the terms of the contract or if she deserves a relationship where her desires and boundaries are respected. Throughout their time together, Anastasia begins to assert herself more, especially when she feels Christian is overstepping his bounds. As she becomes more aware of her own needs, she starts to challenge him and demand more from their relationship. This shift in power dynamics creates friction, but it also highlights Anastasia's growing self-confidence and determination to take control of her life. Christian, in turn, is forced to confront his own fears of abandonment and intimacy. He wants to keep Anastasia in his life but struggles to let go of the control that he believes is necessary to protect himself. He fears being vulnerable, and this fear keeps him from fully committing to a more conventional and emotionally open relationship with her. Part 5. The Turning Point. The turning point comes when Anastasia realizes that she must decide whether she can continue in a relationship where her needs are not being met. She begins to assert her independence, leaving Christian to face the reality that his way of loving may not be the right one for her. This decision leads to a temporary separation, where both characters take time to reflect on what they truly want from each other. During their separation, Anastasia begins to realize that while she loves Christian, she cannot compromise her own needs and identity for him. She values her independence and emotional well-being too much to sacrifice it for a relationship based on control. Christian, too, comes to terms with his feelings for Anastasia and starts to recognize that love requires mutual respect and trust. Part 6. The Resolution. In the final moments of the story, Anastasia and Christian come to an understanding. They acknowledge their love for each other but also recognize the importance of mutual respect and compromise in their relationship. They agree to redefine their partnership on terms that are healthier for both of them. Christian, who has been forced to confront his emotional vulnerabilities, begins to open up more and embrace the possibility of a more balanced relationship. The book concludes on a hopeful note, with Anastasia and Christian acknowledging the changes they need to make in order to build a future together. While their relationship has been tumultuous and filled with challenges, it is clear that they are committed to making it work. Their emotional growth and evolving connection set the stage for the next chapters of their journey together. Conclusion. 50 Shades of Grey is much more than a story of physical attraction. It's an exploration of emotional vulnerability, personal growth, and the complexities of human connection. Through Anastasia and Christian, readers are forced to confront uncomfortable truths about power dynamics, control, and the nature of love. At its core, the book challenges the notion of what makes a relationship successful, showing that love isn't always about perfection but rather about learning, growing, and finding balance. The story raises important questions about relationships. Can love truly conquer personal demons and emotional scars? How much are we willing to compromise for the sake of love, and where do we draw the line when our own happiness is at stake? Anastasia and Christian's journey invites readers to reflect on their own relationships and the sacrifices they are willing to make in the name of love. What are your thoughts on Anastasia and Christian's relationship? Do you think love can overcome control issues, or do relationships need more than just passion to work? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's it for today's 10 Minutes Gold Mine. If you found value in this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep mining for more golden knowledge. See you in the next one.